So I'm gonna talk about something that's on my mind, cause like I gotta get it out. So over this last weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, my wife and I, we was at Ruth Chris, right? We went to Ruth Chris. That was our first time, and I did a video on it, and like we were just like grateful to be there, cause last year around this time we couldn't afford to be there. We couldn't afford much of anything, so you know, we just did a video. Like I was just so grateful, right? But there's one thing that I do have to talk about. I don't know what it is with us, and I hope you understand what I mean when I say us. I don't know what it is with us. Like, we feel like we have to bring this like street energy everywhere we go. Like, why am I sitting down with my wife at Ruth Chris, cutting into this nice ribeye, and I see dudes walking by with their pants sagging, with their jeans sagging, with these bubble coats with their hoods on? Like, yo, we gotta stop. Like, we gotta stop. And I know, listen, some of y'all are gonna be like, oh, you was just thanking God for this, now you judging. Listen, I'm not judging. I'm not judging them, and I'm not trying to be cynical. But we have to, like, yo, we gotta understand, like, yo, there's a time and place for every. First of all, like, we have to understand that how the world reads us is a reality. Like, yo, the way you present yourself is how the world reads you.
He's 100% right. And I went into his comments on this video in particular, and it's a lot of people, or no, I'm not going to say a lot. It was some people that was like, well, Ruth Chris ain't fine dining. That's not true. That's not true. We've made it, the culture in particular has made it to where it doesn't seem like it's fine dining because there's so many ghetto people.
If Ruth Chris is not fine dining, I would love to know what is. Where the hell is you niggas eating at? That give you niggas the boldness to say Ruth Chris is not fine dining. You niggas is elite, boy.
That speaks down on it, that don't dress up when they go there. And in every place, you're supposed to be presentable. You're not supposed to be looking stupid. You're not supposed to be looking dumb. It don't even matter if I'm just going into a place to pick up something really quickly. You're supposed to carry yourself a certain way. And I even, I hearken back to bygone eras that I was not here for, that I get to look at a couple of different pictures from and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if it was the 50s and the 60s or something like that, but people used to dress up to even go to baseball games. Now, I know that there's going to be people that's like, oh, Anton, you putting too much into it. It's not that deep. It is that deep, because you can't then say that you feel some type of way about the way that people perceive us, but at the same time, you carry yourself a certain way. So now people have basically made Ruth Chris a jump off ghetto spot, a place that doesn't really, require for you to do much. And they're having that narrative against it because of the people that go there, not because of what it is that they are. I went to Ruth Chris one time, and it was in, I believe, Biloxi, Mississippi. And it was in one of the hotels, because a lot of people are not familiar with Biloxi. And Biloxi, I like to stay at the Beau Rivage, which is an MGM property. It's very similar to the one that's right at the property that's in the center of the Strip in Las Vegas, right? It's very similar to that. It's a scaled down version of it. All right. So I like to go and visit it. And it's a really great property. They got great food, all of that. But also, Biloxi is a casino town. So there's a whole lot of different casinos, and you don't even have to get into the car to go to them. You can catch the train or the trolley or the bus, and it stop at every.
Make sure you guys drop your comment down below, man. I really want to know you guys' ideas on this stuff, man. For real.
Bus stop, right? And I think it's a Ruth Chris inside of the Hard Rock or something like that. And it was a very, very, very nice place. It was really nice. The ambiance was great, at least at that one. The ambiance was great and everything, right? And I couldn't understand why people kept trying to label it as ghetto and stuff. And I'm assuming that's because when you go to it in other places, people label it as ghetto because of the people that attended. And in the culture, it's now become oh man, this is not a big deal. It's just a ghetto. Oh, I can't believe it. Ruth Chris ain't. Anywhere where you spending $200, $300, $400, $500 where you can spend that type of money, dining between 2 or 3 people, in my opinion, should be considered an upper echelon dining experience. And the fact
That's a fact.
that people are not respectful enough, and they come in there smelling like trees, they come in there with their pants sagging, they come in there looking stupid, and they're not putting their best foot forward, I don't think that that's right. You can't say that he's not thankful or he's not humble or that he has to qualify himself to have an opinion about what he observed during his dining experience when it's something that he looked forward to, and he actually said that it was a great thing. You shouldn't be that way at Chili's. You shouldn't be that way at Applebee's. You shouldn't be that way at anywhere. You shouldn't be that way at J. Alexander's. You shouldn't be that way at Benihana's. You shouldn't be that way at...
It is a different era now. That's the only thing I would say, man. Back then, everybody was wearing suits. There was no such thing as joggers. There was no such thing as T-shirts, and the swag was suits. The swag was dresses with the heels on, and that was a look with the perms and so on and so forth. There was no other swag. So it's just a cultural difference, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'll say now, man. You can't really fault nobody for being different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. There was a point in time we wasn't even allowed to walk in the building. So that'll be my only take on that.
At any steakhouse, Outback for that matter, right? Ocean Prime, you name it. You can name it and you just go straight down the list. And I think that we have to start carrying ourselves better and differently. And you could be a respectable person regardless of what your skin color is, of what your culture is, and all of that. But we don't value that because maybe rap music or the culture or something like that told us that we shouldn't. I believe in having your own standards and moving the way that you want to move regardless.
I think that if you outside hanging out with your lady and y'all having a good time, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you just said that it's been a minute and y'all really had to work hard to get to that point, I don't really think that that's something you should really be focused on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Even though I understand your position, like, you just want us as people to be more prideful and carry pride, you know what I'm saying? I understand that position, but at the same time, bro, you hanging out with your girl, man. Not saying that you don't deserve an opinion. You definitely deserve an opinion. We all do. And I definitely understand your position because there is situations where I'm out in public, I'm like, damn. Niggas. But it is what it is, bro. Like, everybody's different. Everybody got their own swag. And like I said, bro, it was once upon a time, bro, we wasn't even allowed to walk in the building. So some people are just unapologetically black. It is what it is, or their version of blackness, bro. You really can't fault people for doing that, bro. It could be you.
We already are fighting an uphill battle at times. And I understand there's a lot of systematic things, but like, why are you, like, we got to do better. Like, at Ruth Chris, this is supposed to be an establishment that, what kind of establishment you going. See, that's the thing, like, you're not going to no Applebee's. You're not going to Chili's. You're not going to Texas Roadhouse. You're not going to, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing against those places. I'll eat at all those places. I'm not too bougie for none of them places.
Drop a comment below, man. I want to hear y'all opinion on this, man, because this is actually good.
But, like, you're not going there. Why are you bringing this, like, energy? Why are you bringing this, like, attire that, come on, jeans sagging? You eating at Ruth Chris, you can go buy a belt. I hate that for us. I hate that we do that. Like, us men, we got to do better as men. Like, go get yourself a pair of slacks. Go get yourself, a belt. Go get yourself, a nice collar shirt, a sweater, a coat, something, a blazers. Like, come on. You don't gotta, there's a time and place for all that. I got nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with, sweats and Jordans and jeans and bubble coats. I own all of that stuff. But why are you bringing that kind of attire to an establishment where you know what the standard is over there? I just hate that we do that. I just had to get that off my chest. One last thing, because see, sometimes, like, again, some of us, sometimes we want access to certain opportunities. We want access to certain doors open. We want a certain level of respect, right? We want access to certain levels of society and things of that nature. If you want that, you also have to understand that your presentation matters. Your presentation matters. It's a reality. Whether you want to accept it or not, it matters how you present yourself in certain spaces.
I don't see any
Facts. 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 I like it. Comment down below.
anything wrong with anything that he said. I think that he's spot on. He's accurate in his assessment of what happens in the culture. When people are replying to him and trying to make it seem like, oh no, this is not a place where we have to do all of that. We can wear Nike Techs, we can wear joggers, we can wear Jordans and all of that stuff. I think that they're wrong. I think that he's accurate and that we should carry ourselves more. And you don't have to be this upper echelon person that makes a whole lot of money to do so. You can carry yourself accordingly, depending on the environment that you in. You can do all of that. And so people feel like, oh no, you can't do that. Oh no, you got to move a certain way. Oh no, I'm going to adjust. Man, the rap music and social media has done damage to the culture and the community that is, in my opinion, in some cases, in most cases, irreparable. But neither here nor there. I always like to link back to the content creator to give credit where credit is due. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. I just dropped a video on the Patreon today. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off.
All right, man. Drop a comment down below, man. I want to hear what you guys got to say about that, man. I agree with the young man. You know, I don't know how old he is. He might be older than me, but same time, bro, we just live in a different. I understand her, and I agree. Let me just say that I agree with your brother. If you see this video, 100%. It's just different out here, bro. What's fancy to you may not be fancy to others. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And like you got an opinion, they got an opinion. They feel like they could walk in that motherfucker. How they? It is what it is for them. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other environments where you might feel like it's not a big deal to be a certain way, and they walk in there behaving so we're talking a certain way. Everybody's different, man. You know, it's the era of diversity. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that. You know, so just expect it. But us as people do gotta do better. As long as they wasn't in there cursing, carrying on. They smell like weed. Hey, man, medical marijuana cards, bro. It is what it is. I mean, that's just the world that we live in now, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. This is the first time tune into my YouTube channel, turn the post notification bell. If you got any video ideas that you want me to react to, please just send it to me, man, so I can react to them, man. Right now, I'm riding the Anton Daniels wave, man, but I want my own content. I want my own stuff so I can start reacting to, so I can start building my own footprint on this YouTube platform, man. Until next time, man, without further ado, man, this is the end of the video.